Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
1968 was special for us. 50 years ago, Mickey Lolich got Tim McCarver to pop out to Bill Freehan in Game 7 of the World Series, and the Tigers were crowned world champs for the third time in franchise history. Those champions are back in town, back where they played, back where they belong. They will be honored all weekend long. It makes sense. They celebrate with the Cardinals at Comerica Park. The opener of a 3-game series comes your way here on Fox Sports Detroit. Hi, everyone. Alongside my partner, two-time World Series champ, Kirk Gibson. I'm Matt Shepard. You know what it's like to win a title. What made that 1968 team special, do you think?
Well, I think for the 68 team, they thought they should have won in 67. Heartbroken, had to go home, and they showed up in 1968. They knew they were good enough to win. They had the experience of the loss. They had Denny McLain at the top, Lolo, Mickey Lolich, who won 2-4 in games 2, 4, and 7. Yeah. More importantly, he beat Bob Gibson, who Denny McLain could not beat.
Yeah, the Cardinals in town, and we're going to be telling stories about that 68 World Series championship team all weekend long. This Cardinals team this year is right smack dab in the thick of a playoff race. Their best player is Matt Carpenter. What makes him so good?
Well, I think what makes him so good is he's a good hitter, and good hitters slump, hitting 143 in May, under 200 going into the All-Star game. Post-All-Star game, he's been on fire and carrying this team, not just with average, but with power. 35 home runs leads the league, 39 doubles, and a 957 OPS. You know, he's invented himself. Only 8 home runs in 2014, over 20 for the next 4 years, and 35 now. 3-2 on every count. He's going to dig in. He's a leadoff hitter, and he may lead the National League in home runs.
Tigers' best player, Nick Castellanos, another solid series in Chicago, and he continues to rake. Why?
Well, again, he's just got confidence. He's got experience. He moved from third base over to right field. I think it tells you he's very, very comfortable out the right field. He may have to move again, but Nick knows he's up there. He's swinging from the first pitch. He's just, rakes everything they got. 20 home runs. He's up there around 70 RBIs. And you expect him to go do this year after year after year, a guy the Tigers may build around in the future.
He also faces a lefty tonight, and nobody hits southpaws
400
in all the majors better than Nicholas Castellanos. Detroit flexed their muscle on Wednesday in Chicago, hitting 4 homers. They'd love to do it again here tonight. We'd love to hear from John Keating again. He rejoins us from the Coliseum studio right after this.
down the second wild card spot in the National League. Meanwhile, the Tigers come home having won 2 straight games, and they scored 18 runs in those games. They're getting a little busy offensively. John Keating back here at the Call Sam studio. Game time approaches on this Friday night. It's been a tough day for us here at Fox Sports Detroit. We are not comfortable being the subject of the news, but unfortunately that's the situation that we are in. Earlier today, Fox Sports Detroit released a statement regarding an incident that occurred in Chicago on Tuesday. After speaking with all involved parties, Fox Sports Detroit has decided not to schedule Rod Allen and Mario Mpemba for any future Tigers telecasts this season. Since this is an internal matter, we will have no further comment. And so, the show must go on. Daniel Norris had a great start working against the Yankees. 4 perfect innings, and then a cramp popped up. It is my message to everybody. Hydrate. The well-hydrated Norris gets the ball in a moment.
Perhaps the most impactful and important championship team in Detroit sports history. Here's the Cardinals batting order presented to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Matt Carpenter leads off. He leads all active Major League Baseball players in interleague slugging and OPS. Meanwhile, Jose Martinez leads this team in hits with 142, and Patrick Wisdom bats 6th. Last 3 hits for him have been solo homers. Daniel Norris with the first pitch of the night, and it's high.
Big start for Daniel Norris. Probably really pumped up.
Caught the edge. Last start very good against the Yankees. Gibby, tonight's starting pitcher, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. What's he deliver?
Well, he's trying to get consistent. He's trying to get through a game without getting hurt. Has been on the 60-day DL. Now he's off. Had the calf issue just recently in his last game, but threw the ball very, very well last Saturday at New York. 2 runs on the hit and 1 walk and 7 strikeouts and 4 1/3. He's looking to double that.
Carpenter slices it foul. 87% of Daniel Norris's pitches, fastball or sliders. So he must control those if he's going to be effective.
Will throw a change. It's his 3rd pitch.
See Carpenter playing in his career 1,000th game tonight. Swing and a miss.
McLaren Health brings you the Tigers starting defense tonight. In left field, Mikey Matuk, Victor Reyes in center with Nicholas Castellanos in right, Candy and 3rd base corner, Nico Goodrum at first, Ronnie Rodriguez and Doel Lugo up the middle. James McCann is catching Daniel Norris.
McCann 3rd in the American League, throwing runners out when attempting to steal. 20 caught stealing. Here's Jairo Munoz. Munoz has started 59 games this year at 6 different positions. Gibby, that's got to be really difficult for a guy. Maybe a couple, you know, shorter second, but 6 different positions.
I tell you, it is difficult, but this organization right here may be the first to move guys around. Really under Tony La Russa when he was there. They really believe in making their players, young prospects, even that they're so good at one position, play multiple positions. It gives you a better theory, I guess, on how the game works. Gives you better looks from different sides of the diamond. And you see more and more guys. Nico Goodrum's a guy on the Tigers team. He could play 6 positions.
Munoz in right field tonight for the Cardinals. So look at Nico Goodrum, who's anchoring first base tonight. Back-to-back Ks for Daniel Norris.
A couple of high fastballs gets Matt Carpenter and Munoz. Daniel Norris used to throw the ball where you can see the 2-seam. Used to throw the ball much harder. It was more of a thrower as a pitcher. Now, understanding how he throws pitches, he's still got it in the tank if he needs it, but going to see him 91, 92, maybe 93 occasionally. Location being the factor.
Here's Jose Martinez, the designated hitter tonight. And when you think of the Cardinals, you might think of Matt Carpenter. You definitely think of Yadier Molina. But this is the guy you should be focusing on. 15th in the National League in hitting. He leads the team in RBIs and hits with 142.
Yeah, 16 home runs to go with that.
Scalded to short. And a nice quick inning for Daniel Norris to start this Friday night. lefty of their own. Today's starting pitcher for the Cardinals, presented by MGM Grand Detroit. Kirk Gibson, what's the scouting report?
Yeah, Austin Gomber, 6'5". So he's going to have a good angle, 230. See, he's left-handed, 4th round of the 2014 draft. 4-0 mark with the 252 and 7 starts so far in his career.
And here's the Tigers batting order, presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jamer Candelario leads off Wednesday, 3 for 6, 2 runs scored, including a home run. Mikey Matuk has hit 7 homers in his last 18 games. And Doel Lugo, 345 on the recent road trip.
Yeah, Candy, that had to feel good to him. Had a couple strikeouts in the game, but regrouped and got a couple hits after that.
Well, I talked to him before the game about that and his ability to hit through slumps and his ability to just have some fun. And he said when he was in the minors, he used to press a lot more. And a lot of it had to do with, you know, trying to get to this level. But he knows he can play at this level. So he's just trying to go out and have some fun.
Well, you look at his numbers, 17 home runs and 48 RBI, hitting .225. He got off to a great start. He's had a good year, yet there's a lot more left in his tank. He's got a lot of hard work to go. And he'll have to make that commitment to get through the rest of this season.
He also says he feels pretty good right now. I asked him if there was ever a time where, well, you played football in college when you were a freshman, if you hit a wall, right? And he said, yeah, I felt a little sluggish at some times, but he said, look, I feel really good right now. I feel rejuvenated to a certain extent.
Well, that's good, but we all kind of hit the wall at some point, and you got to find your way around that and over it. And these are with this last month. This is what this last month is all about, because you want to be a World Series team. When this month ends, you're going to have another month, so you're 2 months away.
The 2-2 pitch. Candelario just 194 on the road trip, but that Wednesday night performance really helped turn things around. Of course, the Tigers with 4 homers in that season series wrap up in Chicago.
Good job right there by Candy. Just foul that ball off. I think many times as a hitter you think that you can hit every ball hard. This ball right here is right at the top of the zone. You have to swing at it, but that's pretty hard to put in play as a hard hit ball in my book. So you foul it off, hope you get a juicier one.
This one down the right field line, drifting foul and back into the stands. Gomber making just his 2nd start and 4th ever appearance against an American League team. He's 5-0, and he's the first Cardinals rookie lefty to win 5 games in the month of August.
I think he's 7-0 in all of his starts. If he hasn't got the win, the team has got the win.
Right, in all his appearances, yeah. Candelario has worked it full. That can be the growth of a player too, can it? The ability to foul off some pitches and work the count, even if you don't get rewarded with a base hit at the end of the at bat.
Absolutely, you're always trying to get the starter out of there. Not so much now. It's September. Everybody has extra guys, and the Cardinals and the Tigers both will bring up more guys than they already have on the roster. But during a regular season or a playoff roster, you get into that bullpen and you wear it down. You get into a long series, and it's really beneficial to do so. Plus, you see more pitches.
Sure.
And so do your teammates if they're watching on the bench.
Grounder to short, nice backhand by De Jong, but not in time. Candelario's on with an infield base hit.
Buchanan touched first base. Paul DeYoung going to his right. And Candy get down there pretty good. You can see it. He misses him. Got the front of the bag. Could also do a little layout slide there. That would also get you into first base.
How about the fact that he worked an 11 pitch at bat to start the ball game, Gibby?
That's a good start.
Daniel Norris threw 11 pitches in the entire inning in the opening frame. And here's Nico Goodrum.
Got to get my stopwatch.
You want to see if he's going, or you want to see the delivery to home, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, like, see, the first thing I watch on the left-handers is left toe. He throws to first, and that left toe lifts. That's a good key to steal a base. If he goes home, if you watch it this time, his toe will stay engaged and down. He'll press. Probably 50% of the left-handers, when they go to first, they lean back so that toe comes off. You can see a little extra. Got that shot?
I'm watching for it. I don't have that keen eye like you do. Goodrum in an 0-2 hole.
Stayed right down there.
Goodrum did not play on Wednesday night in the wrap-up against the White Sox, but Tuesday 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored. Good road trip for him, where he batted .333 and hoping to pick up where he left off here on this Friday night in the opening game of the 3-game series against the Cardinals.
How about a gapper? Get your legs loose. Kept it down, so it doesn't look like a guy that's going to do the toe lift. So you have all these little keys that you learn over time. You just got to look out. You look for the easiest ones first.
Why did Carpenter come off the bag that way? He literally came out to meet the baseball instead of waiting for it to travel.
Just wanted to get it, didn't want to get it tangled.
Grounded through the hole on the left side. Back-to-back singles to start the first for Detroit. Here's the Cardinals defense. Harrison Bader's in center field. He co-leads with Jacoby Jones with 21 defensive runs saved. He's got 8 assists and has the best arm in center field.
Got Marcell Ozuna in left. And Munoz in right. In the infield, you got Wisdom, DeYoung, Wong, and Carpenter. Francisco Pena behind the dish.
Pena has started 26 games this year. The previous 4 years total, he started 15. Yeah, that's because Yadier Molina is such a steady presence behind the dish for St. Louis. Castellanos driving it deep to right. There is Munoz. He's got a really good arm too. You can see it. He hits the cutoff man Wong, but it was deep enough for Candelario to take third base.
Yeah, I watch the way opponents throw most of our guys. And Nick Castellanos swings a lot at the first pitch. You got guys on base. They continue to try and get in on him. He just missed this right here, and there's a good tag play. That's what you want to do. Nobody out. You're on third. You must get to third base. If there's one out, you come off the bag, because if the ball drops, you must score. So it's a little different. No outs, must get to third. One out, must get home if it drops. But Nick, he's very aggressive. They keep throwing in balls that they try and get in on him, and he just barrels down in there. Just missed that one.
Victor Martinez, who drove in a couple Wednesday in Chicago, batting from the right side tonight.
Victor hits a home run here. I want to do it. I'll take a switch. Here now we have one available switch per week on Ram Pick the Stick.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Why do you get first chance to make the switch?
Because I invented it.
Shouldn't it be Craig Monroe since he had first pick?
No, I invented the rule.
Oh, I see. Well, now that I know you're the commissioner as well, I'll make sure I go to you with various grievances and ideas. Pretty cool scene at Victor Martinez's locker. He's got a Yankee chair next to his locker, and I asked him what that was all about. This one grounded to short, could be 2, and it is. A good way for Gomber to get out of the first. Detroit threatens, but we're scoreless as we head to the second. Great deals, digital coupons, and more. By Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Jeep, see your Jeep dealer today and experience the freedom that comes with legendary capability. Oh, it's going to be an awesome weekend. Not that it isn't anyway, but when you get 16 designated current Tiger players back in town to celebrate that 1968 championship team, you know it's going to be fun. What a celebration Detroit has in plan for tomorrow.
Well, if it's anything like the previous two, you had the Jack Morris and the Alan Trammell number retirement. That was great. Fans were great.
Sure was.
Now we're going all the way back to '68. Special year, Tigers organization.
Love reliving it, don't you?
But I thought was cool. The field over there, the Pal Field, the Willie Horton Field.
Yeah. At
the site, the old site at the Tigers Stadium. They got to go on that field. It's powerful. I've been over there. You know, you did a lot of damage, and you spent a lot of hours over there, and you learned a lot of lessons over there. It's a really cool thing. I'm really glad that they preserved it, and for some of the '68 Tigers who don't get to see it, got to go over there today. I'm sure they felt like they were home.
Look out. Ozuna's gone. 1-0 Cards. Number 19 for Marcell Ozuna. And the 5th homer allowed by Daniel Norris this year. Awesome power.
As a fastball right down the middle. And Ozuna likes the heater. More susceptible to the slider. He showed that pretty as he got that yellow band, and that's a new style thing that's going around the league, I believe.
Gibby, he's got 6 homers in his last 12 games. Talking about somebody locked in.
Remember, he was started with the Marlins.
Sure did.
He's growing up to be quite a young man there.
Well, think about who the Marlins had, right? They had Stanton, Yelich, and Christian Yelich is in the conversation, Gibby, for National League MVP. And Ozuna.
You're going that far?
Not bad. I am going that far.
Why?
Because he's on a major role right now, and he's a huge reason why Milwaukee's contending. I didn't say he's going to win it, but he's in the conversation.
For right now.
For right now.
Okay, we'll put it. We just got to keep a running list.
Sky to center. Reyes takes care of business. This St. Louis team has 41 road kills, folks, but they have 31 wins and 16 losses under that man, Mike Schilt, who has signed a 2-year contract the rest of this season and the next 2 years in taking over for Mike Matheny at the All-Star break.
So he's the permanent manager. They made it right in the middle of the season. That's pretty impressive.
Sure is.
Now, do you know that he started as, I believe, a scout? Then they said they thought he was so good of an evaluator and a good communicatorship that they made him a coach. Then they made him a manager. He won, I believe, 3 titles in the minor leagues. And Mike Matheny brought him on as his bench coach. And
this is just the first year as his bench coach.
Yeah, he's ascended very quickly. A year ago from today, you would never believed it, but he's there and he's doing a heck of a job.
Also played college baseball at UNC Asheville. This is Patrick Wisdom. He's the 3rd baseman.
Big boy.
He is a big hoss, no doubt. But boy, is he having fun. I talked with him before the game, and he likened this situation that St. Louis is in to an NFL season where you got to win every single week, right? Because you got a 16-game slate. That's it. Well, this is how it feels right now in a pennant race. You want to win every single night. It's a lot of fun, he says.
A lot of scoreboard watching. I promise you that. Not too intense right now, but you're watching.
4th game started at 3rd base. He goes quietly, and there's 2 down. 3rd strikeout of the night for Daniel Norris.
Looks like Daniel's having the most success with the high fastball, climbing up and out of the zone. 3 strikeouts now out of the 6 hitters he's faced. However, he did give up 1 home run to Ozuna.
All 3 strikeouts on that high fastball. Here's Harrison Bader, the center fielder, and a really good looking rookie who's batting .273 with double-digit homers. Another young kid who's having a ton of fun in St. Louis. Said he's just reaping the benefits of a lot of the veterans on this team, and he is making sure he's listening and learning every single day. When I introduced myself to him before the game, he said, "Hi, I'm Harrison Bader. Nice to meet you."
What do you say when you approach him? You never talked to him before, right?
Correct. Yeah, never talked to him.
Give me the spiel.
I just said, "Hi, I'm Matt Shepard, Fox Sports Detroit. I want to talk to you a little bit about your season. This one skied to left and out of play." And he and the Cardinals right in the thick of it, right? There's Milwaukee and St. Louis. It's fun. Los Angeles and Gibby's old team, Arizona, and even Philadelphia. Still around.
Two of my old teams.
Well, one you start for on the field, the other you start for in the dugout.
But yeah, Pittsburgh looks like they're back. That would be, you have to jump over 4 guys. That's hard to do.
Yeah, especially this time of the year. That's another one of your old teams, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Didn't fit in very good, Pittsburgh. It was a quick stop, a little over a month.
What happened?
Yeah,
Another strikeout for Norris. He's got 4 Ks, but Marcell Ozuna went yard to put the Cards on the board.
boy, he's really hitting some home runs. These are his last 2 hit in Chicago. This one Wednesday. Everybody's hoping the rain stayed off. Tigers went on to win. Mikey swinging it with some power.
First 33 games this season, no homers. Matuk has hit 7 in his last 18.
See a little respect right there with the big breaking ball. First one of the evening. Dropped in there for a strike against Mikey.
He and I were talking about the 1968 World Championship team before the game today. And, you know, all these guys are young, so they don't really remember much. But when I told him that Denny McLain that year threw 336 innings, he just shook his head and his eyes popped out wide. Are you kidding me? High and tight, 2-1.
Well, I mean,
different time, yeah.
31 wins, which will probably never be broken, and certainly in our time without a rule change.
Right. 41 starts. It's pretty tough to match too.
Nowadays you have to go 31-2. you get to 31.
Yeah, because you're
33 starts.
33 starts, right. They rely too much on a bullpen for that. Those guys back then did not. Draws a walk.
By Mikey.
Point. If Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com.
Keep digging for my stopwatch. Must have been used at the time of the hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, you have one on your phone, you know.
Yeah, this is the baby right here.
Right. Is that the one you used in Arizona and here in Detroit?
One like it.
Okay. James McCann stands in.
Pretty quick to the plate. Now, if Yadier Molina was behind the plate, everything would be different.
Oh, yeah.
You need a little more time. I'm always looking for 1-2 plus, 1.2 seconds plus. With Yadi back there, it's 1-3 minimum, 1-4.
Two 2-0. Gomber having some problems in the first 2 hitters in this inning. Cardinals with those classic road uniforms. I love them. Not as much as the Tigers, but I love them. Good looking unis. 2-1.
Ball cuts. He's throwing the ball inside and is cutting in on the righties. So you're a base runner, you're Ramon Santiago over there, the first base coach, just looking for something. And I've told Ramon, like, let's watch where he stands. He should be standing in the right spot, the same spot every time.
2-2. Statcast A1 powered by AWS. Gomber will walk some guys. He's walked 4 in a start twice this season. Not a huge strikeout pitcher like he was in the minors. Last year he struck out 140 at Double-A. That was number 2 in the Texas League. You see how Carpenter comes off the bag there, Gibby?
Yeah, well, that's an old Eddie Murray trick. They want you to think like the ball's not coming to you. Eddie Murray was really good in Baltimore. They had all kind of plays with Flanagan, McGregor. They try and make you go off with them.
The Martinezes, Tippy and Dennis, no relation.
In the book.
Strikeout number 1 on the night for Austin Gomber.
He's got some good life on that heater. Went away that time, been throwing it in.
Here's Ronnie Rodriguez.
So we're going to show you Ramon Santiago over here. So you want to be right there because you want to look, and you're studying the subject right over here. You want to have the same reference point. If you're here one time, you're over here the next time, you've got a different view, right? So if you stay at the same spot, you can see any little change.
So you want to shadow the base runner.
Well, I just want to have the same reference point, starting from the same spot, viewing the pitcher. I'm trying to pick up something that he does. So he's going to go up and he's going to talk to the runner, Mikey. He may pinch him if it's a steal or a hit and run. But he's watching here. What is he doing different? He's got a routine. He does it every time. Sometimes when they throw over, they do something different. Not all of them, but some of them. So if he's one of them, you want to make sure that you pick it up. So I don't know if I explained that.
No, you did.
Well,
how often is he talking to the base runner?
Between every pitch. Did you hear him?
I did. Make sure Matt Carpenter's out of the way.
Well, sometimes you deke him. Sometimes you say, if I tell you to go, there he's pretty much in the same spot there. And now the thing about it is with St. Louis, you don't play him very often. So it's really important, and you really have to study. But when you play Kansas City 18, 19 times, Chicago, right?
Right.
Cleveland,
Minnesota, Cleveland.
you may
right.
pick more up. Look, you're not going to pick them all up. It's not always there, but you are looking.
2-2 to Rodriguez.
The other one you do is you count down from the time that the pitcher comes set till he goes. Sometimes they get in patterns. So like I was a hitter, we didn't just say 1001, so I would count 1001, 1001, 1002. Now he held it. It was different. Some pitchers, when the game speeds up, they get into a pattern, so you can just count in your head and go. That didn't work on him either. So you're just looking for different things you can find out. And we talked Wednesday quite a bit about got to have your head up.
Yeah.
Got to be watching the game. 1001, 1002, 1003. That was even longer.
Pounded inside the bag. That could be extra bases for Rodriguez. He'll cruise into second, and the Tigers have runners at second and third with only one down.
Like a cutter that didn't cut in enough, and Ronnie is swinging a hot bat inside the bag. And I love this shot coming up the relativity. Watch the route here. How's he going to go? Cutting it. Now we got this guy here going right behind. Eyes on the lead runner. Here's Mikey. Outside foot, a little bit on the outside of the bag. But base running, it's just it's not out there for a stroll.
Well,
So
first to third, really important. This team has done it so much better this year than it has in the past.
I'm going to look it up. They're way the last 2 years actually, and they're way above. They call it bases taken, net gain. Get this from a Biz Data site, and they list your first to third opportunities, your first to home opportunities, second to home. Compare you to the league.
See if Dewell Lugo can drive him in. Punches it foul.
I almost took this guy. Like the way he looks. Swinging it good. He has swung the bat real hot.
What do you watch for in a young player who just comes up? What are you looking for as he tries to adjust to major league pitching?
Adjustments. What he does. Whether he's smart. I mean, the hitter's trying to recognize the pitch. He's trying to put a good swing on it. And you have to be smart and understand what they're trying to do. Then you have to apply your strengths to where they may go. Not where they may go to your which may be your weakness. You don't want to apply to that.
Swings through a fastball to make it 1-2. Lugo had a good series, good road trip. 345 on the road trip, 10 for 29.
Yeah, he got some sock in his bat too. Jumps off his bat.
Good hustle, decent speed. Has lost some weight since spring training. See if he shortens his swing like Gibby talked about Wednesday night. He does. Punches it to second. Wong will concede the run, and we're tied.
Good at bat. Good adjustment up the middle of the field. Didn't try and pull it. Gets the run in. Gets him over. It is right up the middle. Think that should be an at bat? That's a good at bat. You should get rewarded for that.
He will be. He'll get a high five, and so will Mikey Matuk, who scores the run. And here's Victor Reyes. .93 on the gun from Gomber.
Gomber really likes that high fastball, doesn't he, at the top?
Going with the fastball, but on his breaking pitches, teams are batting just 176 against him. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Now 2-0.
Yeah, his sliders bailed him out in his last start. 14 of 19 for strikes, 8 outs, no base runners, 4 ground ball outs. So you can look for him to go to that when he's in trouble.
That was against Cincinnati. Caught the edge, and it's 2-1.
you know, the 1-0 pitch or the 0-1 pitch, that's the big one, right?
Yeah. The 1-0 pitch is big for the pitcher.
Yeah, well, 263 batting average against Gomber and 175 0-1.
Grounded to second, no problem for Colton Wong, but the Tigers even it up as we head to the third. Cover story
Back
of the
leg
Colorado Rockies homered 3 times on Wednesday. One of them, Gibby, measured 505 feet, making it the longest of the 2018 season. Story has now homered 5 times in September, driving in 10 runs as Colton Wong looks at a first pitch strike. He is 3rd in homers, 3rd in RBIs, and 7th in WAR in the National League. Should he be in the conversation for MVP?
What do you think's going to hurt him?
Playing at Coors Field and that kind of air, you know. I mean, it hurt Larry
adjusted.
Walker. It hurt Todd Helton. For their Hall of Fame candidates would be my guess. People are viewed differently when they play there. Wong looks at one high. Wong has been great.
I mean, you think it's legitimate? I mean, it is an easier place to hit.
Well, yeah, you're aided by something, aren't you?
The altitude, the air is much lighter. The ball travels farther, and even the little the short pop-ups, you've got to play so deep.
Yeah.
Lot falling in front of the outfielders as well. But it's a launching pad. They do put the baseballs in the humidor.
Did you hit well there?
Never hit there.
Okay.
I did hit in Mile High Stadium in AAA, but they didn't play many games there. Maybe it's only there one year, 3 or 4 games.
Okay.
I was swinging at high fastballs and missing them at that point.
And you really liked them low.
But I've been managed in games where, you know, you get an 8-1 lead, and the next thing you're down 9-8. Take the lead, lose it again. Little pop-ups carry out of the stadium.
Barely missed. Ooh, Norris wanted that. So did McCann and everybody else who supports an English D. Colton Wong has been really good since the All-Star break, batting .342. A big reason why the Cardinals have taken off that and the bullpen. The bullpen's been really sharp for St. Louis. And he draws a walk. Let's welcome in Johnny Kane. Hi, Johnny.
Hey, Shep, good to talk to you here. You know, Daniel Norris looks pretty good tonight. You remember his last start in New York. He had a no-hitter going into the 5th inning. And, you know, that was his first start since spending 4 months on the DL with that groin surgery. But the thing about it was Doug Teeter, the head athletic trainer, had to come out and take him out of that game. And course, everybody's holding their collective breath thinking that maybe it had something to do with the injury that shelved him, but it was a left calf cramp. I talked to him afterward. He said, we don't think it was so much a hydration issue as initially thought, but just kind of using some different muscles that I hadn't been using. But says he's very strict on his pregame routine, gets the right fluids in there, electrolytes, and then days that he pitches, he likes to fuel up with carbs, rice and salmon, which reminds me of, you know, John Keating's pregame regimen.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't forget the gummy bears.
Wait. How about, does the Reese's Buttercup, does that fit in there? That's my second inning thing.
Oh, that's yours, yeah.
Johnny,
well, you got to stay game ready.
Johnny, you did talk to Daniel Norris the other day. What's the mindset? How's the psyche?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, first off, it's just grateful for the opportunity to come out and get a chance to start rather than in the bullpen. But there's no pitch limitations. I mean, Ron Gardner said he could throw near 100 pitches today if he gets that deep into the game. So for him, the 4 months of rehab, spent a lot of time feeling very alone down there in Florida. But to be able to get through it, get yourself back on a big league mound, and then go up against that Yankees roster and retire the first 12 batters straight, that was big. So tonight, another great test against one of the top teams in the National League.
Yeah, while he was rehabbing, he didn't do a whole lot, but rehab for a long time and then get back on the mound. That one is a foul ball by Francisco Pena.
Ooh, that was hot. He got the head out there.
Pena a little surprised. Let's take a closer look at it. No question.
Didn't see any chalk flying.
The other aspect of Daniel Norris's success is how quickly he's been working too. I mean, that's important. He finds that rhythm, gets the ball, and is ready to pitch.
Yeah, he works very quickly.
It's a good sign. Remember when the Tigers were rolling, remember they had Doug Fister and Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer. Those three guys worked as quick as any pitcher I can recall recently.
Well, you got stuff like that, you'd be excited to throw it, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, but Fister wasn't overpowering.
He had good stuff, good movement.
Sure did. Really good pitch there by Norris. And that is strikeout number 5. We're still in the third. Here's the Chevrolet most dependable player. It's Matt Carpenter.
On pace for 45 doubles, 41 home runs, and 105 walks. Wow. 40, 40, 100 since Albert. And that was 2009. Albert was in St. Louis. The oldest to accomplish this is Frank Thomas in 2000.
It's impressive. Leads the National League in homers, OPS, and slugging. Number 2 in doubles and extra base hits. Pretty unique, don't you think, to have your team leader and the National League leader in homers with 35 as the leadoff man.
Yeah, we were trying to think, has any leadoff hitter ever led the league? Anybody got that answer? I don't think so.
I can't recall.
I mean, Ricky Henderson would be one of the biggest home run hitters as a leadoff guy that I can remember.
Yeah.
And let's think of some more.
Time now for StatCast AI powered by AWS. You see how Carpenter uses every part of the ball field, but obviously being a lefty likes to pull.
So if you get that up again right there, if you look at that, kind of shows you why they leave. Look, they leave him here. This is 18%, so they got him right here. We got the 72%, and they got that pretty much covered with here. Those numbers don't lie. It's real.
And everybody knows it, and yet he still is among the best. Also has a very good eye, now 3-1.
Take a look at Carpenter, 29 hits lost to the shift this season.
Freddie Freeman, and he lead the way. Have to be careful here because of the power. The 3-1 pitch. Beat the shift anyway. And the Cardinals are bouncing right back after surrendering the game tying run in the last half inning. They threaten again.
Struck him out the first time. Carpenter stayed back that time. This is what you want to watch, Daniel Norris. And in first and second, 1 out. That's when you got to make your pitches. This is the important stuff right here. Is the game going to get fast? Is it going to stay slow? So I'll start it with the walk.
You had mentioned Carpenter with the homers. As a leadoff batter, he has 29 homers. Ronald Acuna Jr. is second with 17 in the National League as the leadoff hitter. This is Jairo Munoz, who struck out swinging in the first.
The thing about Carpenter, he's pretty much been a leadoff hitter. They actually tried to move him to third, but every time they've done that, it has not been well. It's not panned out for them.
Norris needs a ground ball here. Instead, golf to left, Matuk. And there's 2 down. Hey, Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the Fox Sports app. Download the Fox Sports app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you. It's made available by Oakland University. And by the way, those folks at Oakland University, your golf course, your 2 golf courses, among the favorites of that man, Ron Gardenhire, just singing the praises
because he beat
of that track. Yeah. Right.
Shot a good score. No wonder how bad he did.
He shot an 81 yesterday. Not there, but he did shoot an 81. 43 on the front, 38 on the back. Not bad, huh?
Yeah, you make sure you tell everybody about that one, don't you?
Yeah, right. It's kind of like a good baseball game where you go 3 for 5, but you skip the fact you went 0 for 5 and 0 for 4 in the previous 2 games, right? Jose Martinez.
Don't brag about that. The negative stuff.
You're always bragging about the big fish you caught. That's Johnny Kane. He went fishing with Ron Gardenhire earlier this year. Good stop by McCann.
Tell you that Long's got 6 steals and 4. Good block right there. That's kind of an Olay one. We kept his eye on it. I'm noticing Daniel Norris is kind of. There's 2 outs. They probably wouldn't go now, but they're watching from the dugout. He's going to have to watch him. He's getting a little bit predictable. Got to make sure you stop. Quick look, and he goes.
Martinez with 78 RBIs.
It's almost like he heard me.
Foul back, 2-1. Is that the catcher's job? Is that Ron Gardenhire, Rick Anderson reminding him from the dugout? What's going on there?
Pitchers. But if you see it, and you know what? It's amazing right there. Yes, obviously he can't hear me, but he mixed it up. He's trying to get out. You got first and second. You're grinding on getting this 3rd out. Sometimes you can forget.
You got Martinez to ground to short last time up.
He's a big boy.
Sure is. Big strike zone. Low in the zone, and it's 2-2.
Hear the crowd there. It's a lot of Cardinals here, but Tiger crowd is cheering Daniel Norris throwing that strike as well.
Yeah, we were talking about 1968 and the celebration that is this weekend. That year, the Tigers led Major League Baseball in attendance. The Cardinals were second. And you expect that from World Series teams, but that doesn't always necessarily happen. Struck him out. Daniel Norris rises to the occasion as we head to the Tigers' half of the 3rd.
And one of the reasons why the Tigers bench is what it is that the AAA team, the Mud Hens, are busy. They're in a first-round series against the Durham Bulls. They're tied at 1 in the series. Durham leads 3-2 as they play in the bottom of the third. Congratulations to the West Michigan Whitecaps, who have already advanced past round 1. Playoff baseball for some of the Tigers, guys.
That's got to help, right? That helps the mindset. Helps guys feel a little bit more confident as they head to spring training or off-season ball. Thanks, Keats.
Time to impress into the season is where you want to see your guys go. So they're going to cash it in. It's tough. I mean, think about the players that know they're going to go home. They've been playing since, say, February. It's a long season. They've done bus rides, 10, 12, 8 hours.
How much did you rest in between seasons before you got back into your off-season program?
Well, early on, we hardly worked out at all. Work out right before the season. Just kind of rested. Nowadays, they don't rest hardly at all. They do some type of conditioning or balance work, core work.
Got him looking. Second strikeout of the night for Austin Gomber. Stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game, where we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game. It's presented by McDonald's. Here's Nico Goodrum, who singled in the first. He's left stranded. First pitch swinging, and an easy play for Wisdom.
Really going to the breaking ball, both pitchers. He's getting the most outs right now.
The BP brighter picture with Nick Castellanos striding to the plate. You see where he ranks among American League leaders, 5th in total hits. But as Gibby pointed out earlier, his .400 batting average coming into the game tonight against lefties is best in all of baseball. He also has 17 3-hit games. The latest Wednesday night in Chicago. That is second most in all of baseball. Scooter Gennett is tied with him. Only Gene Segura's 19 is more. Castellanos ripped a fly ball to right his first time up. That allowed Candelario to scamper from second to third, but the Tigers left runners at the corners. Actually, they hit into a double play. This one pounded right back up the box. Nice backhand by Wong, and it's an easy cruising third for Gomber. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone. Daniel Norris in his first home start since April 20th against Kansas City settles in for the 4th. He'll face Marcell Ozuna, Paul DeJong, and Patrick Wisdom. Ozuna touched him for his 19th homer of the year back in the 2nd, and it could be another one. And it is on the board again.
Ball right here, just down the middle again. Just tried to trick him and sneak it by him. Did not work. Now I've been looking at the breaking ball. Now Daniel's got to keep it slow right here. He's only down 2-1. He's got to cut it off right here. But Daniel, I'm just looking at this stat for the season. Got 27 outs with both his fastball and his slider. But the fastball has produced 17 base runners compared to 10 for the slider. I like his breaking ball and his curveball and his slider a little better to hitters like Ozuna.
7th career multi-home run game for Ozuna. The 2nd time he's done it this year. DeJong flew out to center his first time up. He had 22 RBIs in the month of August. That was 2nd best in the National League. Fisted foul.
Trying to get in on the hands. And see what happens is Ozuna's got 2 home runs on balls out over the plate.
We mentioned that it's his 2nd multi-homer game this year. He's done it in the last 3 games. He did it on Tuesday against Washington. Punch to first, no problem for Goodwin. 1 down.
All right, let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Talking about Daniel Norris, his pitch usage in the 3rd inning. Started to throw the breaking ball. He threw 1 good one. Then he had trouble overthrowing a little bit, letting go of it behind. He's got to get it out front. But he does recover after that walk. Look at how they much more bite and down and in. Gets down underneath that power zone. Got Pena there, and then he got Martinez here. Like that pitch down there. Ozuna especially, you got to, I think, show the fastball. Go with the slider and the breaking ball. 6 strikeouts tonight, 1 shy of his season high. 3 on the fastball, 3 on the slider.
Throws his fastball 47% of the time, the slider 40%. Team's batting 182 against his slider, which begs the question, why wouldn't you throw it more?
Well, you can't just chuck it all the time, but I'm sure this fastball, they're hitting better off it.
Wisdom struck out swinging in the 2nd. Tapper to 3rd, foul.
Just take a look at this at bat and just study the swings and the Wisdom right here. Patrick really comes out around the ball. Watch the swing right there. Just kind of see how it rolls over in the end. And we're going to get one of the home run of Ozuna and watch the difference, how much quicker he gets to the zone, how much direct he goes. You got to kind of read the hitters. You have an idea what you want to throw, but then sometimes you got to make changes as the game goes on. You watch what they do.
Punched foul, and nice tracking by Nico Goodrum for 2 down.
Nice pitch right there. In on the hands. He's got a long, slow pull. Oh, we take a look at Ozuna coming up in his swing. Watch how quick it is. See how much, so really short. Brought those hands in. Barrel right to the sweet spot of the bat with the ball. So you got more danger in that part of the zone against Marcel.
Knew it was gone right away. Here's Harrison Bader.
I think if you want to come with the fastball, you really got to crowd him with it. Almost purpose pitch. He likes the ball out over the plate. Ozuna does.
Most power hitters do, don't they?
Yeah, they like to get those hands out, get an extension. 2 runs for the Cardinals, and Ozuna has them both home runs.
1 and 2 to the 24-year-old from Bronxville, New York, Harrison Bader, who was selected in the 3rd round of the 2015 draft. Got him swinging. Second time he struck out the youngster. 1968 was special. What does Ron Gardenhire remember about it? Johnny Kane has that story next.
The 1968 championship team, Ron Gardenhire, who's an Oklahoma native, was asked of his reflections of the 1968 season. Well, in Oklahoma, they actually got the radio broadcast for the St. Louis Cardinals. So he was a baseball guy even back in the 4th and 5th grade. And he said he had his little transistor radio he had hidden in his desk there. So he would listen along as Victor Martinez drives one that's caught in left field. But anyway, he was asked, you know, what the teacher did once she found out that he had it. You know how we always hear those stories, the teacher makes you, you know, read whatever you wrote in the note or those types of stories. She said she didn't even confiscate the radio. She just said, young man, I'm going to need you to turn that off.
You ever get caught doing that, Johnny, in a class?
Transistor radio or note
Well,
taking?
transistor radio is way before your time, my friend.
Well, not too much. But anyhow.
Your
no,
iPod or?
No, come on.
Come
now.
on.
Come on now. But anyway, it is cool. So Gardy, you know, that's his memory of 68. And I know there's a lot of people sitting back home that triggers an emotion for them right now. They remember where they were during that special time.
Absolutely. And if they don't, then maybe they're too young like me. You remember what your father used to say about it.
So the final game is a day game. Is that right?
Yeah. In St. Louis, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I remember being in school, watching it on TV. So that would be.
Montauk pops it up.
6th grade.
Carpenter calls for wait.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
You know, there's a little final out right there. Tim McCarver, Bill Freehand underneath it.
That's one of the most memorable pictures in Detroit sports history. Bill Freehand.
Bear hug.
Yeah, catching Mickey Lolich. And Lolich with his 3rd complete game of the World Series. Beat Bob Gibson, who also threw a complete game, by the way. Such a special team. Used to love talking with Willie Horton about that season. And I've talked with Mickey Lolich, and Mickey Stanley, and Al Kaline, obviously, other 68 greats who really felt how they impacted the city that year. What it meant to this town. McCann pops it up. Shallow right field. Munoz is there. And another easy inning for Austin Gomber.
They beat one heck of a ball club, and they know that. And I think all the guys that have become friends of mine over the years, Al Kaline, Willie Horton, and Bill Freehand, all those guys knew they beat a good team, very good team.
Tim McCarver batted .333 in that series. St. Louis had 30 shutouts that year, but Willie Horton and the Tigers led the majors with 185 homers. Folks, that was 52 clear of any other team, and Horton had a team high 36 that season. Colton Wong stands in for the 2nd time tonight. He walked and was left stranded at second base in the 3rd. It's Wong, then Francisco Pena, and then the lineup turns over to Matt Carpenter at the top. You know, so much is made of Tim McCarver making that last out, but McCarver told John Keating, look at there's 27 outs in a ball game. Others made outs too. It was one heck of a series and one heck of a pitching duel in Game 7.
And also that the last out's important as the first out. He said something about that as well.
Yep.
They're all important.
He played 21 years. I mean,
catching.
God, that is amazing. The 2-2 pitch to the St. Louis second baseman. Fouled down the left field line. Here's what people forget about that St. Louis team. You and I were talking earlier today, and I asked you who comes to mind, and you said Curt Flood and Bob Gibson. And I found that interesting.
Lou Brock had 62 stolen bases that year. Roger Maris was on that team. But Steve Carlton was on that team, too, as a youngster. And I think he won about 13 games or so. Wong fouls another one. Down the left field line, giving chase is
Look
McCann.
at McCann.
Coming close. Time now for the Bernstein advantage. And there's the matchup of two of the best that season. Bob Gibson had 268 strikeouts that year.
Look at this. It's complete games, both of them. 5 earned runs, both of them. The Tigers won 2 of those 3. Game 1, Bob Gibson defeated Denny McClain. 3 games, 5 runs, huh? It's exciting.
Pretty special.
That's every play means everything.
Wong punches it to left. Matuk.
Lights.
Oh, it slid right through him.
Lights.
Wong will stand up at second base, and the Cardinals have their leadoff man on.
That's definitely a light ball, but I could see when it said we're gonna freeze it right there. Now he's coming this way. There's a big bank of lights right over here, and the ball. Go ahead and play it. It's just not quite high enough. It's not low enough, and it's right in the lights. It's the only way you whiff those. It's a bad feeling. The ball goes in, and you're just stabbing. And it's a good thing you had it out. If you put it at yourself, you're going to wear it. But that was unfortunate. It can't happen. Those lights are bright. If you're ever down here, look right into them. Tell me if you can see anything.
Here's Francisco Pena, the number 9 hitter. Good job by Victor Reyes to back up Mikey Matuk. You and I were talking Wednesday during the broadcast in Chicago how players at this time of the year have to stay focused. They have to remember their fundamentals. Victor Reyes, it could have been a lot worse. There's a balk by Daniel Norris that allows Wong to trot to third.
There's more than one guy called it.
See if you can pick it out here,
yeah,
Gibby.
Yeah, he knew it right away. Starts up right here. Yeah, forgot to step off quick enough. He knows it.
Pena knew it too.
Now this is a good job. They're trying to have a little meeting here. Get the game slowed down. You're in the top of the 5th inning. Still a lot of time left. Get it slowed down. Let's cut this inning off. They score one more run. It's 3-1, still within reason. You don't want to make it 4-1 or 5-1. Maybe you get out of it. Tigers do have the infield in, but like halfway in.
Just the 3rd balk by a Tigers pitcher this year.
Got to make a good pitch. The inside fastball, if you get it in there in the hands, it'll deliver you a nice ground ball. If you miss it, you could go a long way. So he wants it in there again. Right, hit the target.
Swung through it. What do you think about the pitch count right now for Daniel Norris at 82 with nobody down here in the 5th?
Yeah, maybe he'll go to 100.
I think Ron Gardenhire told you and I about 90, 95 or so before the game. So
yeah, they'll get somebody up pretty soon.
Tigers infield is in.
But they want to see what Daniel does right here. We were just talking about what are you going to do when the pressure's down? Can you make your pitches?
So you don't mind this situation for him, do you?
No. Well, you want to. You're looking towards your future. Is he a starter? Can he stay healthy? Can he make the pitch? Again, they're trying to jam Pena. May the count 2-2. May go for a chase. Maybe a breaking ball. Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch. Daniel Norris, 93, low of 76 on the breaking ball.
Seven strikeouts so far tonight.
Fastball in, get it in there.
Pounded to left center. Matuk on the run. An easy grab, but a sacrifice fly scores Colton Wong from third. And the Cardinals now lead at 3-1.
Now McCann asked You know, Daniel's a little rusty probably. We're going to watch right where he put the sign down, right where the glove was. It's the proper pitch. And here's where we wanted it. We'll stop it right at contact. So you see, just missed his pitch. You get sharper, you got a better shot. Good thought process. Didn't quite execute it, but that's what you're striving for. 3-1 Cards. Still a lot of game left. Good chance to come back and beat him.
Carpenter with the bases empty. Base hit through the shift last time up. Struck out swinging in the first.
Here's the D. Full Ted Williams. 1, 2, 3. I've goofed that up. To the right of the pull side. Now, did I see yesterday or the other day a 5-man infield with 4 men on one side of the field?
I think you did, yeah.
That would be something that Tampa would do, or Joe Madden.
Right.
Did you see it?
I did. I don't recall who did it though. I forget which team did it.
And that was late in the game.
Oh, it was Joe Madden and the Cubs. Yeah.
You absolutely have to do it.
Scorched to second. Lugo's right there.
Another
2 down. As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the hold true moment later in tonight's game.
The whole reason Joe Madden does it the most, you know why?
I don't.
Ben Zobrist. Outfielder, infielder, right? You bring him in.
Comfortable putting him anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Helps to have guys like Javi Baez too, though, right?
He showed good when we did that game.
Sure is. Another guy who's up for NL MVP. This one scorched to center. Reyes hustling back, and he makes the grab. Cardinals pad their lead. They're up by 2. Everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, it's the Chevy Labor Day sales event. Ride out the summer in a new Chevrolet. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer. I want some of those socks. Sock-a-toom socks handed out to some folks at Comerica Park.
Where are you going to wear them?
I'll wear them anywhere.
Like on a cold floor?
Sure.
Wear them to the game?
You know what my family does every Christmas? We do a silly sock exchange. I might put it in there.
Do you all have Santa PJs on when you wake up in the morning and do the thing?
No, we don't.
You don't?
No, no, we don't. That's an image nobody wants to envision right now.
Well, back in the day when the kids were little?
Well, we do it now. All the adults do it too.
Well, I'm talking about the PJs.
Oh, yeah, right. I got you.
Christmas is not that far off.
I know. Summer coming to an end. Ronnie Rodriguez, Dewal Lugo, and Victor Reyes here for the Tigers in the 5th.
About 5 or 6 hands touched that ball. It didn't make the catch.
Bouncing around. Not as easy as it looks now, is it? Rodriguez doubled back in the 2nd.
Likes lefties, hitting .311 coming into the game tonight. Does have a double, so he's better than that.
Tigers conclude their 1968 50th anniversary weekend on Sunday at 1:10. Arrive early for a pregame Q&A at 11:45 with the members of the 68 World Series Championship team. The first 10,000 fans receive a 68 replica pennant presented by Comerica Bank. For tickets, go to Tigers.com. Rodriguez deep to right center and chased down nicely by Harrison Bader. The rookie played it like a veteran in his first visit to Comerica Park to take away extra bases.
Way out there, well over 400 feet, gets a good angle on this, and look, he just reaches right up, keeps his eyes on it. Now when you get back that deep, the lights get a little dimmer out there. That's kind of how you can feel the wall, but you see he keeps his eye on it. Little cap tip from the chucker. Gomber, the pitcher.
A little low 5 from Ron Gardenhire. You gave it a bid, son. We said earlier when we were talking about this team's defense, Bader can track him down. He's got good speed. He's got really good instincts. Has a A+ arm. And they love him. And you can see why.
Much the same as Jacoby.
Sure.
In fact, those two would be very comparable.
As we said, both have 21 defensive runs saved.
Jacoby has 2 over the wall comeback. He went over the wall and got him, though.
Lugo was fooled. Goes down swinging.
Let's take a look at some of Harrison Bader's catches. This is early on, out to the side. I say this in a lot of telecasts. Never take your eye off it if the glove is out the side. And if you overrun it, you can still make an adjustment. At Bader, 21 runs, defensive runs saved. Tied with Jacoby, and gets up there with a strong throw. He goes and gets him.
Brought to you by Menard's Big Money Encounter. Nice push punt there by Reyes for a base hit. There's the defensive run saved we were referring to, with Jones and Bader. And there's some impressive names. Lorenzo Cain, still one of the best center fielders in all of baseball. Mookie Betts in right field, and he can play some center too. Look at what he's done.
Indirian Ciardi, he's a guy who's come late. Had him in Arizona.
Well, what a perfect time for a little push down the first base line by Victor Reyes.
Smart play. Caught him, and the pitcher's got to leave immediately. He didn't do it, and he pays it. Pays the price. 2 out. Now you get a little 2 out ding dong, and it makes a lot of sense.
Well, also look at, I mean, Gomber falls off to the third base side, so that bunt was perfectly placed for Reyes. Nice setup. Candelario goes the opposite way for a base knock. Reyes thought about third, but wisely holds because of the arm in right field.
And you're down by 2 runs, and the ball's really hit too hard to take off on it. You don't want to make the third out at third base ever. See the 4-seamer. Good swing there by Candy.
Oh, he kept his head down, didn't he? Love the way he swings the bat. Makes connection like that.
Didn't try and pull it either.
Second base hit of the night for Jamer Candelario. And that brings up Nico Goodrum with 2 down and runners at first and second. Goodrum 16 homers on the year. It's most by a Tigers rookie since 2013 when our friend Craig Monroe had 23.
Simo.
Yeah. Eric Munson had 18. Well, that's one of those guys a lot of people were Just dying to watch in Detroit. See him anchor first base. Thought you'd see a ton of power from him. It's never really materialized here.
Get a gapper here. 2-0 count. You think you're looking for the fastball as a hitter. Let it go. Look fastball. If it's a breaking ball or a changeup, do not adjust. Swing through it. You don't want to make a weak out here.
3-0.
Give him the green light.
You would here, huh?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I think he's going to get a heater, number one. If you keyhole it and look for it right in your zone, the slug percentage and the damage you do on that pitch is outstanding. Got to look right to put on a tee.
Didn't get the chance. Base is full for Nicholas Castellanos. Nobody better in a situation like this for Tiger fans.
Gonna try and throw him inside again. Although he might switch up because they've thrown him in a couple times today just to mix it up.
Sports fans, you won't want to miss the 2018 Michigan Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony Friday, September 28th at the Soundboard at Motor City Casino. Join us as we celebrate B.J. Armstrong, T.J. Duckett, and many others. Tickets start at just $25. For tickets and information, visit mshof.org. Speaking of Hall of Fames, how about a congratulations to ex-Piston Grant Hill, who will be inducted into Springfield Basketball Hall of Fame.
Tigers first and second. If you're Cardinals, you're going to try and make sure that a double doesn't score two.
Castellanos strokes one to left, and it will fall in front of Ozuna. One run is in, and the Tigers have tied it up. First pitch swinging, and they took advantage of the weakest arm in the St. Louis outfield.
I don't know if you noticed, but Clarkie, the third base coach, held him up. Victor Reyes, and he went through. And Cardinals cut it off. Ozuna with a weak throw. He had that
Jamer Candelario said, "You're not stopping me." And the Tigers and Cards are squared at 3 apiece. There's the numbers with the bases loaded. We said as he was striding to the plate, nobody Tiger fans would rather see in that situation than Nicholas Castellanos. Man, is he good. This is a settle down moment, isn't it, Gibby? For Austin Gomber.
Yeah, they're trying to keep him calm down, young kid. To the Tigers, you want to keep him rolling.
Remember, it all started with Victor Reyes.
2 out bunt.
Little bunt single. That's what makes this team different, Gibby. It's different than the past.
Do they manufacture?
Yeah,
runs?
they're able to do things like that.
But they probably need a little more power.
So here's Victor Martinez. 0 for 2. At least 1 hit in 16 of his last 21. And a chance to put the Tigers in the lead for the first time tonight. Cardinals bullpen is stirring, and quickly.
What a beard.
It looks fake, doesn't it?
I saw him in the locker room. It's not fake.
I know it's not, but I mean, that's the second coming of Yukon Cornelius right there.
You could store some food in there and keep him warm.
No doubt.
Remember, we were talking about Nick's previous at bat, how he swings a lot of first pitches, and they just keep trying to get in there, and he is ready. Delivers 2 RBI, ties the game up.
Well, you mentioned his last at bat Likes to jump on that first pitch. The 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Martinez, the third most difficult to strike out in the American League.
Victor going for the downs. So he'll shorten up with 2 strikes for sure. Victor's a guy who's got a lot of knowledge. Anybody's doing something different, tipping their pitches, he would be a good candidate to be able to pick it up.
Love what he's brought to the clubhouse this year in talking with these younger players. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Gomber gets out of it, but the Tigers aggressive. Thanks to Nick Castellanos, have tied it up. Tomorrow when they host the St. Louis Cardinals at 6:10. Arrive early for a special pregame on-field ceremony at 5:15 to honor members of that squad. The first 20,000 fans will receive a 1968 replica road jersey courtesy of Comerica Bank. For tickets and more information, visit tigers.com. Love those road jerseys too. The Tigers back then. See a number of them throughout our crowd here tonight on a Friday night alongside Kirk Gibson, Johnny Kane, John Keating. I'm Matt Shepard. Glad you're with us. And hope you're with us all weekend long. Drew Verhagen, the Tigers pitcher of the month in August.
Well side window's pitching change. Drew has struggled early, actually got released, I believe, and re-signed by the Tigers. Last 5 outings, 6 innings pitched, and only 1 earned run. 1-0 record with the 2.70. He was named the pitcher of the month in August with the 1-0 record, 2.70 ERA.
How about the strikeout to walk ratio?
17 strikeouts in August. So this is a guy, he's got great stuff. He's tall, he's got good angle, he's got good velocity, working on his secondary pitches. Now if you're the Tigers, you're here in the top of the 6th inning, you're looking for multiple innings right here. Get through 6, get through 7. Hopefully you get the lead and you're going to go to Joe Jimenez and then to Greeny, right? Your number 8, your number 9 inning guys.
Got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Cardinals. Verhagen pitched the opener of that series against Chicago, misses wide. Pitched the 3rd in an inning there. In the last 5 he's been dynamite. Jose Martinez 0 for 2.
We know the guy on deck that we're not going to throw him a heater first pitch.
I hope not. Sitting dead red, huh? Two and 2.
Look at McCann. Did you see him try and sell that?
Why not? Talking with a lot of Tigers before the game today, knowing, look, I mean, they've got 57 knockouts, 57 up, 83 down. But they love playing series like this. I mean, this is what it's about, right? If you're not in it, you want to play teams that are.
Yeah, and you can disrupt their progress.
Scalded to short. Nice play by Rodriguez.
Scalded knuckleball. Married men off the infield. You ever hear that one?
No.
Baseball, when the balls hit so hard, you want the married guys because they got kids at home. That was a screamer.
Yeah,
and
sure
was.
Was
a knuckleball. Ronnie gets it.
Marcelo Zuna.
I bet you he's thinking they're going to get a slider or something. Maybe a nice inside pitch. Purpose.
Second time in the last 3 games he's gone yard multiple times in a game, and this is what he did in the second and the fourth.
Yep, 2 fastballs. I think they were trying to get it in on him. Unable to do so. He likes it there, middle to middle in. We got some celebrating techniques there. You can see they got multiples.
Missed high, 1-1.
He's going to be thinking dead red here.
Zuna with a team high 41 multiple hit games now after what he's done here tonight.
Run it in on him, right on the hands. Right on the belt.
Pulled the string 1-2.
Or that. Look at this. It looks like a fastball coming in. It's right there, then disappears.
I know people think he's a home run hitter, and look, he's got 20 on the year, so he does boast that type of power, but he's 7th in the National League in singles with 106.
Drew Verhagen, if he could develop like a little sidearm piece right here for the future.
Change in arm angle, is what you're saying?
Just do the sidearm, just come drop down with the slider. It would totally be a different look. He'd have a great chance now. I mean, that's.
So you recommend that in the offseason, working on something like that?
No. Just the way he is, his body, the way his motion sets up. And someday maybe he'll do it. Going with the heater. Oh boy. Get it out.
Keep it away. Low. It's full.
He's definitely getting something. Breaking ball here.
Don't want to challenge him, huh?
No, he's going to swing.
Verhagen wins that battle.
Set him up pretty good. Threw him the fastballs away, and he comes down. It looks like a heater to Zuna. There's the sequence. Disappears. Yeah, Zuna can't see. He's all over the fastball tonight.
Well, you were the one who called it. You said he's going to get something off speed here.
Verhagen executed it. That's the whole deal. Game's easy from up here, isn't it?
Sure is.
How about you all in the living room here, wherever you're watching the game? That was easy. Well, that's really not.
Paul DeJong, the shortstop, 0 for 2.
We were talking to Tim McCarver today, and he's been around for way longer than we have, and just asking him about the changes.
Yeah.
He has no bones about it. The kids are bigger, stronger, faster. No doubt about it.
Curveball just missed.
But Tim McCarver was part of a group that set the table for the group that I was in, and we tried to set the table for those that follow. And
well, especially his teammate Kurt Flood, who set the table for every free agent moving forward. DeJong hit by the pitch.
He got him good there. Did you hear that?
Sure did.
Paul with some meat there. Listen. Had a big arm. He didn't feel it.
You and I were in the Cardinals clubhouse before the game. It was pretty interesting, the music they were playing. They were playing some Barry White. We're talking old school in the Cardinals clubhouse today. I couldn't believe it.
Rocking out earlier.
Yeah. It was back in the day.
What was this? We had a song on the plane back the other night at 4 in the morning. I think it was on rewind, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sounded like that was the Tigers plane. Yeah. That one scoots by James McCann, and that allows DeYoung to easily take second.
Music with chorus. James right here, he just went off his thumb. A little more break than he anticipated, and Tony Randazzo gets in the way.
Wisdom a strikeout victim in the second, and a pop-up to Nico Goodrum in the fourth, who chased it down in foul territory. 6'1", 220-pounder Patrick Wisdom.
They've got Tyler O'Neill. He's another guy. He's a bodybuilder, I think. He's not playing tonight. Some big guns.
Yeah, father got him into that, right?
Yep.
Good stop by McCann as he slides to cover it up.
These kids work out a lot. Boy, they're big. They move well too. That's the other thing. They, you know, back in the day, you pumped iron, did curls, right? Push-ups,
yeah,
military presses, squats.
That's for the beach workout, though.
Didn't even worry about your core. Now it's really core based.
And legs. Another good stop by McCann. Baseball players don't work out quite as much as, I mean, lifting weights and the like, do they? As the other three major sports, at least that I've noticed.
During the season, it's more dynamic type motions.
Sure.
So you're creating and testing strength, flexibility, and balance.
2-2 pitch. Big out.
Nice.
Verhagen showed you something in that frame, didn't he?
Sure did.
To 1968, we knew we were the best team. And quote, we went out and took care of business. Willie Horton hit 68 home runs that season. And if you want to relive some of those memories, you can head up to the third level here if you're coming out over the weekend inside the Boulevard Brew Pub. Some of the great memorabilia from that time. Bill Freehand's World Series ring. You see the pennants, some signed baseballs in there as well. Even the exterior lettering from the Tiger Stadium that hung at the corner of Michigan and Trumbull is inside there too. So it's free for all fans. Again, 300 level if you want to get up there, check it out. It is a pop-up exhibit. Won't be here long, but for the next couple of days. And pretty awesome stuff, no question, Chip.
Yeah, I love it. And Bill Freehand that year, a team high 84 runs driven in. Norm Cash had 25 homers. Dick McAuliffe had 24 doubles. Mickey Stanley had 151 hits. Really good article recently. Dick Tracewski had mentioned to one of the newspapers, and I apologize, I forget which one it was, but I've been reading a lot about the '68 team this week, that Mickey Stanley was like the Mickey Mantle in the state of Michigan.
They called him Michigan Mantle. I made that up.
Not you. How about Jim Northrup that year, Gibby?
He had some big hits.
Yeah, he had a
grand slam.
He had a team high 153 hits. Northrup was an underrated player on that team.
He was.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no longer with us.
Yeah. They had a dinner last night, that '68 squad. I saw Jim Price earlier tonight talking with Tim McCarver, and Jim Price had said it was a fantastic time. Everybody loved it.
Yeah, just some things to compare. The Tigers now this year have used 25 pitchers already. In the '68, they used 15 all year.
That's it?
That's it. Offense, '68 team hit 230. 2018, 250. 8.4 strikeouts per 9 this year. The '68, just under 6.
All right, you remember the starting rotation? For Mayo Smith's starting rotation, what was it? Do you remember the four?
I don't remember the whole thing.
Denny McClain,
Lolich.
Mickey Lolich, Earl Wilson, Joe Sparma.
Yeah, Sparma's the one I wouldn't forget.
There you go. There's the Mickey Stanley jersey. Nice find, fellas. Tigers fans know what this weekend's all about. That's signed. That's a signed Mickey Stanley jersey. Makes
I
it
got
even
it
better.
today. We might have been to the luncheon.
Yeah, might have been.
Comber's getting dialed in, putting the Tigers. Tigers did score 1 in the 5th. He looks like he's got much more rhythm right now. Just getting on the mound, more strikes, better location.
Yanked foul. Now time for Lowe's whole team together. The 185 homers, 52 more than any other squad. And they had 15 walk-off wins in 1968, where they won 103 games and lost just 59.
Slugged as a team 385. The Tigers team this year is at 386, and that is 14th in the league. So the '68 Tigers were best, so I guess a little more offense in the game.
Now Kaline, who batted .287 that magical year. Gates Brown had an OPS of over 1100.
Gator, come out of there. He's my hitting coach.
I know.
Love Gator.
How could you not?
Well, he was really
Oh man, the story of hot dogs in his jersey was classic. As McCann goes down swinging.
We had some good ones in Gator. We'll have to save those though for the campfire. A lot of laughing. He was very close with Lou Whitaker. Kept Lewis in line. Very instrumental in his career. Believed in pulling the ball. Well, for good reason. Tiger Stadium was certainly a place to pull it.
Well, you sure didn't want to hit it straight away. Not 444 feet.
315 to the overhang in right field. 325 in the right field corner. So we're 330 here at Comerica, and then it jets way out there by the scoreboard.
I bet you enjoyed having those champions around when you played here. Just like these guys today enjoy having Willie Horton and Al Kaline and you around as champions.
Well, Kaline, Horton, Northrup used to be around quite a bit. Jimmy Price has been around a long time. Dick Tracewski, our old coach in '68,
Third base coach. Ronnie Rodriguez goes down swinging. It's a nice, crisp 6th for Austin Gomber.
You know, let's give them a good finish anyway. I mean, you know, let's just don't die right here. Well, we won, and then we had to go back to St. Louis, and we had the great game, the 6th game, a good blowout, and then I got called on to pitch 7 on 2 days rest, and I went out there and I did my job, and everybody did their job, and we ended up winning it all.
And that is the 1-800-CALL-SAM call of the game on 2 days rest. You hear a lot about guys that looked up to Mickey after that, who, you know, Oral Hershiser in '88 for us. There's many stories of guys coming out of the bullpen.
Jack Morris.
Jack did it, yeah.
Not necessarily coming out of the bullpen, but going the distance and then some. Daniel Stumpf will check in. He'll enter in a 3-3 tie here in the 7th when we come back. Footage from that '68 World Series where he was dominant, ended up being the MVP. And in Game 2 in an 8-1 win, he homered. Not only that, he had 2 hits. And then, of course, the capper in Game 7. Complete games in all 3 of his starts.
27 innings.
All 3 wins.
20 hits, 21 strikeouts, 6 walks.
Nice bunt by Colton Wong. A shovel throw, 1 down. One of my favorite stories of Mickey Lolich, by the way, as we look at our wall side windows pitching change with Daniel Stump, Mickey Lolich told me Mayo Smith went up to him after Game 6 and said, "Hey, listen, I may need you in Game 7." And Mickey said, "Sure, I can give you an inning or 2 out of the pen." He goes, "No, I need you to start." And after each inning, Mayo Smith would go up to Mickey Lolich and say, "Can you give me one more? Can you give me one more?" And at one point, I don't know if it was the 6th inning or maybe it was the 7th, where Mickey Lolich then went up to Mayo Smith and said, "This is my ball game. I'm finishing."
And he did.
Yeah, really cool story. Francisco Pena, 0 for 2, but a sac fly back in the 5th.
Well, Gardy right here doing some keen managing. First guy gets on, goes right to the left-hander. Pena, he's not afraid of lefty, but Matt Carpenter is not as good against lefty, so he's going to save lefty on lefty for their best hitter.
There goes the runner, and a stolen base for Harrison Bader.
Now, I talked about that earlier with Daniel Norris. Lose a contact. Look at he's done his homework. He's got a good running jump. That's good technique right there. You want to be on the move. A smart play. 7th inning, tie score. You're going to need the strikeout, and the infield is in.
14 stolen bags for the rookie. You know who people in St. Louis think he plays like? You.
No.
Yeah. So a few people told me earlier today. Aggressive, fast, charger. He's a hard player.
Way better outfielder than I was.
Well, a better outfielder, you know, with a better arm.
That boy Daniel, way to come back and do the job. Now for the big out.
2 down. Climb the ladder.
So now you got to ask yourself, do you like Wilson on Munoz, or do you like Stumper on Carpenter? What do you got, Shep?
Well, Carpenter scares me. So I might, you're saying, put him on and pitch to Jairo Munoz?
Well, I mean, he's not going to do it. He's going to make him fish? No, he wants to see, Gardy wants to see if Stump's got it in him. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. Good comeback right there after giving up the stolen base to Bader.
One and one. Good pitch.
So right here, if you're an outfielder, you might want to think, do you want to be in a little bit? Do you want to be away a little bit? Do you want to cheat, or you want to play it safe?
We should note Munoz is 5th in the league in hitting with runners on base. So that probably has to play a factor.
.297 against righties, .250 against lefties.
Just missed.
Just pounded.
I don't know where that was.
Inside.
That's what Stump says. So does McCann. Where was that?
Daniel, pretty much fastball. Carpenter will be looking for the heater. He could snap a nice slider off down and away. Although they have the shift on, so that might not be a good spot. There, and he did it.
Stake swing, and it's full.
Executed good pitch.
Who's got the advantage here?
Pitcher always does. I mean, you know, you don't get a hit every time. Matt Carpenter's pretty good in these situations.
Barely alive.
Got Tony Randazzo, nicked him. Came with the slider again. Just gets a piece, stays alive. Stump's throwing 2 really good sliders. Remember the pitch he struck him out with the first AB, a little bit of elevation right on, kind of down the middle. High and down the middle. Climbing out of the zone. Might get your chase, but if Carpenter gets on, you will see a pitching change.
Grounded to second. We will stretch. Tied at 3.
Good job.
Coming up is the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. Both starters were pretty good alongside Kirk Gibson and Johnny Kane and John Keating. I'm Matt Shepard. It's been a good ball game, don't you think?
A real good ball game. Tigers got down 3-1, stayed tight, got the big hit from Nick Castellanos. Daniel Norris kept it to only 1 run in that second sequence of pressure that he received from St. Louis. Then Daniel Stump, guy on second, they bunted him over, gave up a stolen base, got the strikeout of Pena, then gets their best hitter, Matt Carpenter, for the final out. Now here we are in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, a lot to like about what Daniel Norris did in his start, don't you think?
Yeah, well, he's got good stuff. He stayed healthy, number 1. And the other thing that I really liked, as I said, was the fact that he kept it to low scoring. They got 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. No meltdown. That's been one of the things that every pitcher or player has to learn to remain in the big leagues.
8-9 hitters for Detroit. Joel Lugo fouling it down the right field line. Lugo 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Okay, now we can mess our desks back up.
Gomber's been pretty good. 93 pitches. He's worked
great.
out of a jam or 2.
Bottom of the 7th, 93. That's pretty good.
Yeah, last outing against Cincinnati, he threw 96 pitches.
Trying to throw that breaking ball. Remember, he struck him out on a nasty hook back in the 6th. Or I'm sorry, back in the 5th.
And we'll see how much longer Gomber goes. Here's our Comerica Bank game summary as the Cardinals make the quick pitching change here in the 7th. We'll show you the game summary on the other side. St. Louis flexing their muscles with homers. Detroit winning in a different fashion that I think a lot of Tiger fans love to see. We'll show you that summary when we come back to Comerica Park after this on Fox Sports Detroit.
Cardinals jumped out on a home run by Marcell Ozuna in the 2nd. Then again, he came around for another round tripper in the 4th, both on fastballs that they didn't get in. But then Nick Castellanos for the Tigers with 2 RBI single. Played it 2 and tied it up at 3-3, and that's the way we stand. Nick continues to carry the Tigers. Good ball game, bottom of the 7th.
Castellanos now with 78 ribbies on the year, and here's the new pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals and our Wallside Windows pitching report. What do you got on Dominic Leone?
Well, you can see the numbers right there. 21st game, 18 innings. Looks like a youngster. Just get some info on him right now.
Reyes this time a sacrifice bunt, and they throw it away. That's putting pressure on a brand new pitcher.
Boy, it is, and they may have some scouting on him that says he doesn't like to throw the ball, but there's a play of the game so far made right here by the Cardinals. Colton Wan, look at here, this ball's headed for right field. The backup diving stab. What's second baseman Wan coming over here? This puts the Tigers up easily. 1 run would score with the guy on 3rd. Instead, the Tigers still have 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
And at the top of the order with Jamer Candelario. 2 for 3 from the right side. Sorry, Gibby. Now he bats from the left side for the first time tonight. Launches 1 foul. Ooh, a little early.
Yeah, you got to have it ready in these situations, and he did.
How about Reyes tonight? He's got a sacrifice bunt, forces Leone into an error, and had a drag bunt single earlier with 2 out to help propel a big inning. Yeah.
Probably see the young manager right there. Big Mike, huh? Wheels are turning when you're a manager now. I trust you.
0-2 to Candelario. Schultz team 10-7 in interleague play. The Tigers 4-10 in the same type of situation. Cardinals have been so good since the All-Star break, and since August 1st, a Major League best 24-9.
Remember how that inning started for the Cardinals with a walk. This inning started to Lugo with a walk. Walks really hurt in this stage of the game, but Tigers looking to take advantage.
Big out. Ram picked the stick update. Jamer Candelario had a couple of hits, but now he has a couple of strikeouts. Did score a run, though. And Candelario is with Johnny Kane, who's got a point. Craig Monroe, courtesy of Nick Castellanos' 2-run single earlier tonight, leading the way. Here's Nico Goodrum. You check it? Yes, he did. Bill Welke, the crew chief, down there at third base. Goodrum's been on base a couple of times.
Going to give me another point here at least.
And he's got 19 multi-hit games this year, 7th amongst American League rookies.
Got a quick bat. .259 with runners in scoring position this year for Nico. See Leon with the cutter right there.
Team's batting .286 against Leon.
Here's
Cardinals
your
playing,
defense.
yeah, double play depth.
Just move them infielders around right now.
3-0.
Nico's seen it really good tonight. Not nibbling on that one either. Guess who's on deck?
Big man. You don't green like Goodrum, do you? Not with Castellanos on
Not
deck.
here.
No.
Leon was on the 60-day DL with right upper arm nerve irritation, so he's been pretty good since he got back.
Finally got one over.
3 2/3 scoreless innings since being activated from the DL.
Tigers hoping to change that here in the 7th with one down.
Oh, Nico.
Golfed foul.
It's that cutter he's thrown. It's starting on the inside corner. No, he went away on Candy in this situation. He's been pounding Nico in. He missed with a couple of cutters. I would be looking out over the plate. See if they go the same place they went for Candy.
See what Pena calls for.
It's like a cutter.
Swung through it. Reyes swipes second.
Those pitchers are rats, just using the aggressiveness. You're 3-2. You got guys in scoring position. You want to score them, and he throws you a slider, which really is a cutter that looks like a slider, and that could be it for Leon.
Or just a conversation on how they want to attack the best hitter in the Tigers lineup.
Well, I tell you how
Mike
they're
Maddox.
not going to attack. So sometimes you go out and you tell them what to do, or other times you go out and get a feel. But I think they would probably walk Nick. Got Victor Martinez on deck. No, he didn't give the sign.
So what are you thinking here? If you're Nick Castellanos, I'm looking for one specific pitch.
Same thing he always does.
I know that they're going to pitch me carefully. What do you think?
He's looking for his pitch. Nick can handle a lot of pitches. He just wants to stay off the ball up.
RBI 77 and 78 earlier for Nick Castellanos with a 2-run single in the 5th. That tied it at 3. A chance to untie it here.
Gets another ball, you're going to put him on. Doesn't make sense. 60% fastballs, 40%, 36% cutters. Those are all cutters. They look like sliders. You can see they just run that one off the plate. They're trying to get Nick to go fishing.
Two and 0.
Yeah, there you got to put him on.
There you go. Great call, Gibby.
Well, I wish they wouldn't have done it.
Well, neither do I, but you said that's what was going to happen.
You know what?
That's the thinking of a manager right there.
I have went to 2 pitches and got burned and seen many guys do it. I was surprised that he went 2 pitches because Nick's looking. He's a good hitter. He could have thrown it to the backstop. Victor's been hot, but he's not as dangerous as Nick is right now, and he's not as fast. So if you get a ground ball, you can knock it down. You can still get Victor, and he's got to go to get to first base.
Yeah, they can't play the shift against him though, so that helps.
But they can play deeper.
Yeah. Had a great conversation before the game with Victor Martinez for a long time at his locker, talking about the approach and what he's trying to teach these younger players. Almost hit him.
Well,
he gave me an example. He said, if we've been out there in the field for a long period of time, you don't come in here as the leadoff guy and swing at the first pitch. That's a selfish approach. You don't do that. Our pitcher needs a break, and we need traffic on the base paths. Little things like that as he tries to implore upon young guys.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's had a great career, and he really has. I think since Miggy has been hurt, he's been really called upon even more so than he was before.
I agree with you. 5-time All-Star. Check to swing. 2-0.
Well, he's got a good idea what he's into here, and he's got a game plan. It seems like Leon and Pena really use the hitter's aggressiveness in a 2-0 count. You're expecting a strike against them. They have not been given in. They just got Nico on a bad pitch.
Could be the pitch of the night. Ripped. Oh, what a play by Wong! And he got him at first base. A special play right here to keep it tied at 3. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
pitched around Nick. He can play deeper because of Victor. His kid lays out, makes the play. And you remember the inning started when he backed up an errant throw, which would have allowed a run to score. And the Cards get out of the inning with no damage. And they're happy.
Tigers with a missed opportunity there. Had runners at first and third and nobody out. Fourth pitcher of the night for the Tigers to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters here in the 8th. It's Joe Jimenez. Our wall-side windows pitching change, his 62nd appearance of the year.
Yeah, Joe had a little tough stretch here. He's had a good year for the Tigers, and they're going to make the decision to continue to have him pitch through it. I think it's a good one. They know if he's hurt or not, if he feels anything. Obviously, they feel like he's healthy, so they're going to have him push through it.
Around 95 miles per hour on that fastball. Seems pretty healthy. You and I were here early watching him working out early in the outfield.
Doing some running, staying in shape.
One and two to Jairo Munoz. And Munoz, a guy who is among the National League rookies, top 10 in average and hits and doubles. Actually leads National League rookies in doubles. Pop fly to left. Montauk drifting over and one down. Hey folks, you won't want to miss tomorrow night's broadcast celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Tigers' '68 World Series championship. Join us during Tigers Live as we honor members of the 1968 team during an on-field ceremony. All your coverage begins with Tigers Live at 5 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
These on-field ceremonies have been great. Tigers are doing a great job. Ask everybody to get here early enough.
And they've obliged.
Yeah, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, you know, I know it's been a summer filled with a transition for this team and this franchise, but they have done it right, haven't they, with Jack Morris and Alan Trammell and the '68 team, and being able to spread it out so people have something to look forward to all summer.
Yes, they have, and I will tell you, when you play and you can hear the support from your fans, then they come back out. That's the thing that strikes me when I go on the field, the fans, and you remember what it was like to have their support. It's really awesome. It's a two-way street.
You gave a really nice speech during the Alan Trammell ceremony.
Tried to. Tram and Jack there.
Yeah, it meant a lot to a lot of people. Love seeing those numbers up there. For those who love that '84 squad, it's been an emotional summer for sure. I know it has been for me.
See Trammell up there, to me, he's the fiddler. Just my little nickname for him.
Well, you know my feeling. I'd like to see a couple other numbers up on either side of the wall.
Well, you'd like to see Lou. You'd like to see Bill Freehand.
And I'd like to see 29. Well, 11's already up there, but it's Sparky Anderson. I'd like to see Freehand's
You'd like
name.
to see his name.
I'd like to see his name underneath there. Good job by Jimenez to strike out Jose Martinez. 2 quick outs here in the 8th.
Here's what you look for Joe Jimenez. Look at here. Target. Delivery. Go ahead and let it go. Look, he just fouls right through to that. Perfect height. Didn't miss out over the plate.
You don't want to miss to the next guy here.
Yeah.
Marcelo Ozuna struck out last time up. Gave you but solo homers in each of the 2nd and 4th.
Stand him up. I'm telling you. Don't mess around with the heater.
Does this become a mano v mano type situation when a guy throws, you know, heavy gas like Jimenez and Ozuna loves to flex his muscle? Is that?
I don't think so. I don't think Joe has the finish life on his fastball as he did earlier. He's on fumes a little bit. That's okay.
Tapper over his head. Quick play by Lugo. Great glove. Love the transition. Bottom of the 8th, tied at 3. a bank can be. Come to America. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Two historic franchises, Detroit and St. Louis, here in September to celebrate and commemorate 1968 Special Championship Series between the two franchises. Mikey Montuk stands in against Jordan Hicks for the first time tonight.
This guy in his 66th game has the fastest average fastball in Major League Baseball. It's 100 miles, 0.4 miles per hour. Does not get the strikeouts, so only 7.9 strikeouts per 9. 16 strikeouts per 9 for Aroldis Chapman, but second among MLB rookies with 23 holds. It's tied for 5th in the National League overall. So here's some info for you. Pretty talented kid.
He's got Montuk, James McCann, and Ronnie Rodriguez scheduled up for the Tigers here in the 8th. 3-5-1 for St. Louis. They've left 4 on. 3-6-0 for Detroit. They've left 7 stranded.
61, over 61% ground ball percentage. So he's got weapons. He can strike you out, ground balls. Hope you can get one up that you can hammer in the gap.
Check swing, but couldn't hold it. If I told you that St. Louis has homered in 102 of its last 141 games, and they've made the most errors in the National League, which one surprises you more?
Well, I don't follow them as enough, but I'm just trying to quantify it. What one's harder, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been known as a good defensive team, but I think early on that they made more mistakes. I'd like to see the breakdown. How much it seems like they're playing better as of late. They're getting their shifts down. There you are, over 100 miles an hour. So
that last one was 103.
Where do they come up with these guys? Huh?
I don't know. I don't know how you throw it 103 miles per hour. Chapman does it.
That's
and he pulled the string. Yeah, that is nasty. Just wicked.
Now, when I watch a kid like this, obviously a great arm. That's a hard slider right there. Look at him torque this. Can he stay healthy? That's a lot of torque on an arm right there. That's when, if you're a pitcher like that, when you get an organization, they really focus on the mechanics. Got to be right. There's nothing. You tip your hat there, really.
Yeah, you really do. I saw a picture of Max Scherzer throwing a pitch the other day, and they freeze. It was a freeze frame, and the torque and the pressure on the elbow is semi-gross if you think about it.
Well, Arizona traded him because they did not think, because of the way his arm action was, that he could stay healthy.
Well,
and he has.
Guess what? Yeah, he might win. Might win. Jacob deGrom will have something to say about that. Nola will have something to say about it in Philly, but he might win his 4th Cy Young. Can't wait late. 103 on the gun again. And instead of 103, just put up a bunch of flames. Right?
Red ones.
A little campfire.
So this is, I did this stat, this is a blink of an eye. By the time you can identify it to the time you have to hit it.
You're almost guessing. Popped him up. Colton Wong takes care of business. 2 quick outs. Hicks has thrown 105 or more twice already this year. 2 fastest fastballs in the majors this year. 105 miles per hour.
So the top 4, Hicks at 100.4, Chapman at 99.1, Guerrero at 98.8.
It's a pretty big drop off, by the way, down to Chapman. Ronnie Rodriguez. Easy tapper to short. DeYoung helps the Cardinals get through the 8th.
Away visiting family in Texas, so I've got the desk covered for Tigers Live postgame immediately after the conclusion of this one, and what a game it's been. And aside from taking you into the Tigers clubhouse, and you'll hear from the likes of Daniel Norris and Ron Gardenhire and others during Tigers Live tonight as we celebrate the 1968 weekend. You'll also hear from the likes of Al Kaline and Mickey Lolich and Tim McCarver. Tigers Live immediately after the conclusion of this one, and by the way, we'll have Friday night fireworks, and we'll carry them live here on Fox Sports Detroit. Chip, Gibby?
Keats, who was your favorite player in 1968?
Al Kaline. And Denny McLain was right there, too. I was a Denny McLain guy, had my cap pulled down low, wore glasses back then. Hard to believe, I know, but much like Denny did.
Did you win 31 games in your Little League season?
I did not, no.
Well, then you're not good enough.
We've known that for a long, long time.
Shane
That's pretty much everything.
Shane Green comes on and a wall side windows pitching change for his 59th appearance.
Yeah, Greeny had a tough outing in his last outing. But we're going to forget about that. Get a chance to get back on the horse tonight, throw the ball better.
Just to put a bow on what Keith said about Denny McLain, he pitched for 336 innings that season, had 28 complete games, and had 41 starts.
Easier to hit. I mean, not taking anything away from anybody, but with the way it's specialized nowadays, you're getting fresh guys thrown at you all the time.
Yeah.
Denny was really good, but I'm just saying, you see a guy the third time around, the numbers show it. Nice breaker. But Denny McLain had a kind of a high leg kick, drop and drive.
I was talking with some Tigers before the game when I was giving them some of Denny McLain and Mickey Lolich's stats and the like, and there he is striking out Hank Aaron. They said, yeah, but he was, how fast did they throw back then? I said, I'm telling you, Bob Gibson, transplant him to 2018, he'd be throwing heat, right? Denny McLain could bring it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of all relative, I guess.
Sure it is. And remember, the mound was different. The mound was higher back then.
5 inches.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Keats?
We're talking to Tim McCarver earlier today, and I was asking him about Mickey Lolich and what made him special. He said everything he threw moved. Every pitch he threw moved. He said, I don't think he could throw a straight ball.
That was a good conversation you had with McCarver.
And McCarver added that if you asked him to throw today, whatever baseball he throws at you is going to move. He firmly believed that Mickey Lolich just had that ability and probably still does today. I shared that with Mick. He said, well, I couldn't throw it as far or as fast as I did back in the day.
Yeah. He was great that year, the World Series MVP.
And during the weekend, Shep, Mickey Lolich will share with us why he was able to throw so many innings for a season. Now they'll throw a pitcher a parade if he throws 200 innings in a season. Mickey Lolich regularly threw more than 300 innings in a season, 376 one season. And he's going to share with us the secret of how he was able to do that. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and you saw him in Cooperstown for the Jack Morris Alan Trammell ceremony.
Indeed.
I worked that weekend. I was very jealous of John Keating for being there in New York, but great stuff.
Keats worked really hard, but he had a good time, didn't you, Keats?
I just followed you around, Gibby.
No, it was the other way. Everywhere I looked, there he was.
From one party to the next.
And I'm talking with Lou Whitaker. Denny McLain's made more of an effort than he did earlier in his career. Patrick Wisdom with one down in an 0-2 hole. See ya.
Looking slider, got the express.
Here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Tigers tomorrow will throw Matthew Boyd. It's been pretty steady. Jack Flaherty gets the nod for St. Louis.
Yeah, Matt's been pretty good. He's had a real excellent year. It'll be a good test for him. And Flaherty's that 2.83. Opponent's only hitting 192 off him.
Opponent's hitting just 2 1/4 off Matthew Boyd. Our coverage with Tigers Live begins at 5 o'clock here on Fox Sports Detroit. And the ceremony to celebrate that 68 title team. Don't want to miss it.
Going to be a good weekend. Weather's awesome tonight. Going to be good for the whole weekend, isn't it?
Should be. I mean, I'm not much of a forecaster, not a meteorologist.
Who had hit him hard?
I'm telling you, Tony Randazzo was taking a beating tonight.
Hit him right in the head, didn't it? Trainers, Doug Teener's coming out. It's like pretty much a clean hit.
Well, it was a ricochet. It hit James McCann first.
Hit Tony sideways. Says he's all right.
He's like a pitcher who wants to stay in a game. He's like a boxer who wants to remain in the ring. Don't worry about it. Hey, celebrate Irish Heritage Night at Comerica Park on Friday, September 21st, when the Tigers host the Royals at 7:10. Purchase a special themed event package that includes a game ticket, Detroit Tigers Irish Heritage Night hat, and a donation to the United Irish Societies. For more information, visit tigers.com.
Always look for a catcher or an umpire gets hit. Did they flinch next time? They say they're okay. No, let's watch. Tony Randazzo there, right on that ball, not flinching. So I think it's a good sign. Watch the umpire there. The ball comes in. Still.
One and two to Harrison Bader. Bader had a stolen base earlier tonight. That was his 14th of the year. That leads all National League rookies. This one, punch to left. Ma took with a good jump, but a little late. Two-out single for the rookie Harrison Bader. That'll bring up Colton Wong.
2 outs. Bader's on. He's got 13 stolen bases, three caught. He's going to go. Get there, may pay extra attention to him. See Mikey playing it on a hop there. Yeah, if you're too aggressive there and you overrun that, you can't take the chance.
Wong has been on base a couple of times.
Been scrappy.
Activated from the DL on Wednesday after missing a few games with a hamstring injury. Batted .362 in August. To center field. Reyes is there. And the Tigers with a chance to win it in the ninth. What a moment it was. First pitch throwing 5 members of the 1968 World Championship team. Wayne Comer, Tom Matchik, Dick Tracewski, John Warden, and Don Wirt.
Yeah, Trixie, right here is Trixie. He was a coach of the '84 World Series team as well. He was the guy who threw me BP the first time I ever hit in Tiger Stadium. Came down from college, and all these guys, great
Nice
gentlemen,
man.
great
Yeah.
baseball men, and they deserve every bit of recognition they get. John Warden, you've seen him if you've gone to fantasy camp. He's funny.
Dick Tracewski was the third base coach of your 1984 World Championship team. Alex Grammas was part of that, right?
Trixie was first base
Or first
coach.
base coach, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I used to beat up on it.
Who else was part of that Sparky Anderson staff? Alex Grammas, right?
Yeah. You had
Roger
Craig,
of course.
Billy Consolo.
Oh, yeah, Billy
The
Consolo.
Consolo Mios. And who am I missing? Missing one guy. Gator.
Yeah, you mentioned him earlier. 8-9-1 batters for Detroit here in the ninth. Joel Lugo, Victor Reyes, and Jamer Candelario.
Let's get some pressure on young Mr. Hicks.
Hicks this year has 14 of the 20 fastest pitches in the majors. He can bring it. But he's behind 3-0. Doesn't matter how hard you throw, Gibby, if you can't locate the plate.
See some action out both bullpens.
Caught the corner at 101.
And they got their closer, Bud Norris, in case they may bring him in. You only bring your closer in when you got the lead on the road, but they may go to him to try and extend the game. Oh.
That was a late indication by Randazzo.
Well, what do you think? That's on the paint, isn't it?
Yeah, good framing by Pena.
Didn't have to.
Payoff pitch on the way. Got him looking. What a job by Hicks.
You know, he quick pitched him. Last time he held him. This time he quick pitched. This is a St. Louis technique. Got a little bit of confidence. Came set. Here you're going to see the sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gets the call, and then boom. Swing back over 100. That's what it sounded like.
Victor Reyes with one down. Very cool piece of memorabilia for Victor Reyes. I noticed on his chair in the clubhouse today. A framed lineup card from his first home run. Jamer Candelario was looking at it, wishing he had one.
Victor can get him. Got a quick bat.
Through the left side for a base hit.
Go on him.
Long, big turn. Wisely retreats. One on and one down.
This is a really good job of Reyes. I know Gardy likes him. He does things like this. Ozuna's got the weakest arm in the outfield. He knows it. He's going to run hard. I said go on him. That was meant deking. So you go hard, you make a hard turn, and then you read the throw. Look at him. He's going hard, reading it. He sees it come in. You retreat. Don't just jog down there.
It's called aggressive baseball.
Gardy loves it. That's what he wants to see out of his team right there.
And he's really come along. Here's Jamer Candelario with one down. Single and scored in the 5th. To left. Deep. Way back. And Walk-off winner! ...361 feet of pure joy. Jeimer Candelario with his 18th homer of the year, and the Tigers walk it off 5-3. Johnny Kane has the hero of the night.
Well, hang on, Nico Goodrum's gonna give him one final little rinse. Jeimer Candelario, you've hit some big shots in your young career. Where does this moment rank for you?
Man, it's a bless. You know, this moment is unbelievable. This is for this guy, for the fans and my family that are here in town. Love you, God.
I saw when you were coming across home plate, Ronnie Rodriguez dumped an entire Gatorade container on you. How did that sensation feel?
Man, that feels cool right there. And just imagine, have fun with the guys, you know, go there and have some fun, and that's what we got.
All right, as you crossed home plate, I saw you pointing up here. Where's the family? Who's here?
My family's over there.
Candelario family traveled the same group that was in New York to see you?
Oh yeah, we got some people here. My father, my wife. Love you.
All right, let me ask you one other question. You guys are facing a really good team here, obviously in the St. Louis Cardinals. You guys played really well in Chicago, played really well in New York. When you have a chance to play against a contending team like St. Louis, how much pep does that put in your step?
Man, that's a really good team. It's bad to go to the playoffs. We just come here and compete, have some fun, and try to be have a good game and work hard, man.
All right, 18 home runs on the year. That's all you do is hit bombs, right?
Come on, bro. That's what you got. Yeah, just have a good swim right there, and thanks God that's going on.
All right, very good. Okay, you can celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, Jeimer Candelario. That was it right there. That's as good as it gets. A walk-off win for the Tigers here as we celebrate the 68 team. Pretty exciting baseball for this version. We send it to John Keating.
Well, you got to come on, bro. You love my fans, love the family. My family's over there. All that from Jeimer Candelario, who ended this one in dramatic fashion to the great delight of those in attendance. We'll talk more about that. We'll remember Denny McLain. We'll talk of the 50 years that it's been since the Tigers and Cardinals played, with almost this much drama and reaction from the Tigers clubhouse, and fireworks just around the corner.